Now boys, you ever boot up your favorite FPS game, play a few matches, and you just feel done? Like you're not mad, you're not even tilted, you're just tired. Well, you're not alone, because lately it feels like FPS games aren't just hard, they are actually draining. And today I want to break down why that is, but not from a games are bad angle, but from the perspective of a player who's just burnt out and trying to figure out what the hell happened to all the fun. Now these days it feels like modern shooters have become completely mentally exhausting. There's just so much happening all at once. You're tracking movement, checking angles, watching the minimap, listening for footsteps, managing recoil, predicting spawns, etc. all at the same time. And it feels like you are in this constant state of fight or flight. Your brain's basically running a tactical analysis every second, and unlike older shooters, there's no downtime anymore. Every small mistake gets punished instantly. Every death feels like a judgment call, and the more aware you become of these details, the harder it gets to switch off. What used to be a chill hobby now just feels like mental gymnastics that are stretching you out in more ways than one. Remember when casual used to actually mean casual? You'd hop into a lobby after school or work, have some fun, and that was it. Now every random match feels like ranked. Players are slide cancelling, pre-firing, quick peeking corners like they're in a fucking tournament. Remember the first 2 days of the BF6 beta? That's honestly the perfect example of that bullshit. You just can't vibe anymore these days, because every game's damn near a sweat fest. And that's the thing. You can't relax if you feel like you're always being graded. Even if you don't want to care about your KD or your win rate, it's hard not to when everyone else clearly does. Now that constant pressure to perform, it's a huge reason so many players burn out and burn out incredibly fast. Now let's talk about the chaos. Modern shooters are loud. You've got footsteps, gunfire, ability sounds, explosions, announcers yelling in your ears, flashy kill feeds. It's just noise everywhere. Now visually, same story. Particles, effects, traces, lasers. It's cinematic. Sure, I'll give it that. But your brain's constantly getting body slammed with data every goddamn second. And when every match looks and sounds like a fucking Michael Bay movie, you are burning mental energy just trying to process it all. That's why winning can even feel exhausting sometimes, and more often than not, winning doesn't even truly feel satisfying anymore, because mentally your body thinks it just survived a war zone. But let's be honest though, FPS games are starting to blend together. You spawn, rotate, fight, die, repeat. Sure, there'll be new maps, new weapons, new modes, but the loop never really changes. The game might give you new skins, new ranks, or a new battle pass, but underneath all that, it's the same routine over and over again. And when your brain realizes it's just doing the same task for hours, it starts to feel more like work and less like play. That's why so many players don't even know why they're playing anymore. They just do it because it's habit at this point. But you know what sometimes makes it worse? Some of the people. Now this of course doesn't apply to everyone, but all it takes is just one person to ruin the vibe. Whether it be toxic teammates, rage quitters, people spamming voice chat, all of it adds up. Even if you're having a good match, one toxic player can drain your mood instantly. And over time you start associating the entire game with stress. Not competition, not challenge, just stress. When you reach that point, you are no longer playing to have fun. You're just playing to avoid losing. And at that point, why even bother playing at all? Now this is a big one. The meta treadmill. You finally find a gun or loadout you love, then boom, it's nerfed next patch, and suddenly you have to relearn everything again. Sure, updates keep the game fresh, but when freshness means constant relearning, it's not refreshing, it's fatiguing. You can never just settle in and enjoy your playstyle. There's always something new to adapt to. Maybe it's new recoil patterns, new gadgets, or new balance changes. It's like you are studying for a test that just never ends. Now maybe the biggest reason it's so draining is that even outside the matches, you are still in the game. Between rounds, you're checking loadouts, tweaking settings, managing camos, tracking XP, scrolling through the battle pass. There's no real downtime if you actually think about it. Older shooters used to have silence between matches. Now it's just a bunch of menus, timers and alerts pulling your attention non-stop. And at this point it feels like you're not just playing the game's playing you. So why does this all matter? Because when everything you do in a shooter feels like work, you lose what made it fun in the first place. FPS games used to be about flow, those moments where everything just clicked and you weren't thinking, you were just doing. That's the magic that's missing. Now it's about optimization, stats, efficiency, and sure, all of those things are great. Those things are perfectly fine in fact. But the human brain just isn't built to stay in that mode forever, or at least for extended periods of time. So what's the fix? Well, honestly, slow down. Play with friends, ignore the meta, and stop chasing the grind every so often. Go for stupid plays that make you laugh. Take breaks when the game stops being fun. Like me for example, I just straight up stopped playing FPS games for about a month. And I literally played everything that wasn't an FPS game. Because at the end of the day, the real enemy isn't your aim or your reaction time, it's burnout. Now FPS games didn't get worse. If anything, I think they've gotten a lot better. However, they've also become too much. It's too fast, too loud, and some might argue that it's too competitive, which again, none of these things are inherently bad. I think competition within games is a good thing, it's perfectly fine. But maybe, just maybe, the way to start enjoying them again is to step back, take a breath, and remember why you started playing them in the first place.